Hey guys, so today's video is going to be on how to dress for an interview. Today we're actually going to cover men's dress wear, kind of wardrobe, and then next week we're going to cover a video on dress for women for the interview. So let's just kind of dive right in. First off, we're going to just start with suits, then we'll jump into shirts and ties, and then we'll go into kind of socks and shoes and belts. So for the suit, you really want a suit that's kind of one color, fairly conservative. Pinstripe suits are fairly okay as long as you have really narrow pinstripes. But you don't want a crazy suit. You don't want a suit that's like the big checker kind of plaid suit, the ones like the elbow patches. You just want a plain colored suit, and you want a suit that fits well. So for a suit that fits well, you really want to look at kind of the shoulders. The shoulder should follow your actual shoulder. So when you get to the end of your shoulder, the suit should go down. It shouldn't be extending past. It shouldn't be like stuck way up either. It should fit comfortably and fit you well on the shoulders. The suit should also fit well in the chest. So when the suit is buttoned, you're really going to want the suit to like lay flat against your chest, and you're not going to want it to bunch in the middle. So typically when a suit is too tight, it's buttoned in the middle, and then you can see the suit actually pulls away from the button, like it's barely fitting around the center of you. So you want a suit that fits well all over. When your hands are down at your side, you also want the suit to fit so that the bottom of the jacket just barely touches like the inside of your hand when your fingers are curled under. You want it so that the shirt that you're wearing sticks out a little bit past the suit, but then when you put your arm up, the suit comes back a little so you can see that shirt. So that's kind of the basics of the suit. The pants are important as well. And also a suit is typically a jacket and pants out of the same material. So I would typically wear a suit to an interview. I wouldn't wear a blazer, which would be just a jacket with pants that don't match. So like khaki pants with like a black or gray suit. And if you're looking to buy a suit or you're looking to choose a suit that you currently have, I would try to get a dark gray suit. This suit is actually fairly light gray, which is perfectly okay. However, if you're just looking to get a suit, just one suit, I would preferably get a dark gray suit because it actually matches better with a variety of different belts and colors and patterns. So for shirts and ties, you want similar to the suit. You want the shirt to be a solid color. I would not wear a patterned shirt, so stripes or polka dots or anything. Just standard shirt. I'd preferably wear like a white shirt or a blue shirt, but I would not wear a crazy colored shirt. It's not like a bright pink or a purple, which I do have. But again, I wouldn't wear anything that's too crazy, just kind of a plain, nice, professional, clean looking shirt. For the ties, whole different story. You can go with patterns. This tie is patterned. I have a variety of other ties that you can see. Something else to think about is actually the tie thickness. So if you look at these kind of three ties, this tie is a very thick tie. This tie is a medium thickness tie. And then obviously this one is a very skinny tie. For an interview, it's up to you what you find most comfortable, what you think looks the best. However, typically when I'm digging through ties for an interview, I will find like a medium thickness tie. So for example, these two ties are both medium thickness. And I will think about which colors I wear. I don't want to have a crazy tie that's, for example, I love motorcycles. I would not wear a tie that was, for example, like this green tie. If it had little motorcycles all over it, it wouldn't be good for an interview. It doesn't look very professional. Again, you want to be as conservative as possible in most interviews. So I would wear a tie that has something like this. It's kind of a professional pattern, or something that's just kind of plain. I mean, it's bright, it's colorful, it's fun, but it's not too crazy. Also, make sure that your collar, the width of your collar, the spread here matches your tie. So what I mean is this shirt right here is a wide spread collar. And here's another picture with a variety of examples. You can see that there are narrow collars on the left and wide collars on the right. And you'll see that the width of the tie, which is actually the knot, how you tie that knot will determine how thick it is. And so if you have a widespread collar, it's better to have a thicker knot, so it looks like it's like, and they're relatively close to the same. They look professional. The top right picture looks the worst, to me at least. And the reason is because the tie is so narrow and the collar is so wide, it doesn't look like it goes together. Like the tie doesn't fit with the shirt. So again, you can still wear this tie, as you can see in other pictures, but you just want to make sure that you tie it close to the same. Also for shirts, you want shirts that fit well. The shirt should come to your wrist, like right to your hand. You shouldn't have any space between your hand and the shirt. So that's another key, is when you go to get fitted for the shirt, which I recommend. I mean, you can go to anywhere from like Nordstrom Rack, TJ Maxx, Pink. There's a variety of companies you can get custom-made shirts, store-bought shirts. Either way, get measured. Try to figure out, the thickness of your neck and make sure that the length of the shirt is the right length in the sleeves. Also, the bagginess of the shirt. Don't get a shirt that's super, super baggy, which used to be the old style. But don't get it where it's so tight, like you can barely feel like you breathe, or like when you're wearing it, there's a gap between the buttons, which indicates the shirt is too small. Another thing on shirts is make sure that the collar is buttoned at the top. There's nothing that bugs me more when I go to like an interview or a meeting and I see somebody and they're wearing a tie because they have to wear a tie. But you can see underneath of here that the button's not even buttoned because the collar is the wrong size. So make sure you buy shirts that fit and fit well. Alright, so the final section is shoes and socks, and we'll kind of cover belts in here. So just to start off, your shoes and your belt should match. If you have brown shoes on, you should have a brown belt. If you have black shoes, you should have a black belt. The shades don't have to be perfect. I mean, I'm not like a fashion expert or anything. I'm not trying to match shades. However, I have like a brown belt and brown shoes, and I have a black belt and black shoes. But when you have your shoes, you want to make sure before your interview that you've actually polished them. So these are just a pair of my shoes I wear to work. Again, they might be a little scuffed up. However, they look fairly good. I mean, for an interview, you want to make sure your shoes are polished and shined. The socks is a whole nother choice. Many people don't really care. They just wear a standard black pair of socks, like dress socks. Perfectly okay. You can also venture out a little bit. I have a variety of colorful socks that I like to wear. You'll see kind of these ones here, which are kind of fun stripes. These ones are actually fairly conservative. I mean, all you're going to see is probably some gray, a little bit of purple, maybe some red if my pants come up too high. And then I have more fun socks like these ones. I think these are all okay for an interview. It kind of shows you have character, but again, it's on your personality. Wearing black dress socks doesn't say anything bad against you. It's just how you like to dress. I also have other socks, which are like neon yellow and orange socks. And they're okay to wear to work because they still look like dress socks. However, I would not wear them to an interview. They're just too crazy. They're not conservative enough for a standard interview. And so I would not wear them. That being said, never, ever, ever wear athletic socks to an interview. It doesn't matter if they're, black athletic socks or they're white athletic socks. Never wear athletic socks to an interview. They're too short. When your pants come up, people see you're wearing athletic socks. It's tacky. It's not best practice in American business, and I know it's not best practice in many other cultures as well. Also, don't wear white socks. Even if you have a pair of socks that are longer, like tube socks, for example, don't wear white socks. It's another no-no in business in many countries, and especially in the US. So that's kind of the basics on these shoes and socks. So in conclusion, go conservative in an interview. Some places like tech companies, small firms, fun companies like Google and Facebook, you probably can venture out a little more on the crazy side. Having fun colored socks, for example, or like a brighter tie might be fun and whimsical. However, if you're not sure, make sure you go conservative. So plain colored suit, plain colored shirt. I would recommend a patterned tie. You can have a plain colored tie as well. Pocket squares are something else you can add in, which I failed to mention on the suits. However, there's different colors. This one's silk. You can get a white one. It adds just a little more flair to the overall outfit. It makes you look well put together. But again, conservative. Clean shoes, clean socks, clean suit. Colors should be fairly consistent and nothing too crazy. So that's kind of the basics of the dress for men on the interview. And in 2 weeks, we're going to cover dressing professionally for women. Thanks for watching. Have you been applying to a lot of jobs lately with no response? I've been in that situation too. The key is to write a better resume. Check out my video on how to write a better resume that HR and hiring managers will like.